Have you ever wondered what's really going on inside someone's head? The ability to decipher the unspoken thoughts and emotions of others can be an invaluable asset in both personal and professional lives. Whether you're trying to navigate a difficult conversation, negotiate a deal, or connect with someone on a deeper level, deciphering what people are truly thinking can be a game changer. Let's start. Number 1. Excessive nodding. Ever been in a conversation or a friendly banter where you felt like the other person's interest was slowly slipping away? It happens, right? Now, here's the thing. People aren't always upfront about it. They try to keep their disinterest on the low side. So how can you catch those subtle signals of waning interest? Well, through the nodding phenomenon. When the topic at hand isn't exactly someone's cup of tea, you might notice them nodding along like they're in agreement. But here's the catch. It's not an enthusiastic nod, it's more like a reluctant dance move. This nodding is their attempt to conceal the fact that they're not vibing with the conversation. It's a non-verbal way of saying, I'm really not into this. Now, when the nods start multiplying, it's your cue to hit the brakes on your spiel. When that happens, slow down, shift gears, or maybe even flip the topic. This not only shows you're attuned to their signals, but also gives the conversation a chance for a fresh start. Number 2. Body language secrets. Sometimes what people convey through their physical actions speaks volumes more than words ever could. Take leaning, for instance. If someone is leaning towards you, it's like a non-verbal high five. It signals connection and interest. On the flip side, if they're inching away, it's like they're putting up an invisible barrier. It's their way of saying, maybe not feeling this so much. If you spot someone crossing their arms or legs, it's like they're building a little fortress around themselves. It could mean defensiveness, anger, or just a general self-protective stance. And if, mid-conversation, arms cross like they're shutting the door, you might have hit a nerve. And hidden hands? That's the body's way of playing hide and seek with the truth. It hints at secrecy, like they've got something up their sleeves. But wait, if you catch them biting their lip or playing with their cuticles, it's not just a random fidget. It's like a pressure valve, a sign that they're trying to soothe themselves in a tense or awkward moment. So, next time you're in a conversation, keep an eye on these unspoken cues. It's like having a secret decoder for the body language game. Number 3. The code of personal space. Picture this. You're having a conversation, and someone is standing comfortably close. It's like they've willingly stepped into your personal orbit. This proximity isn't a coincidence. It often signals a favorable view. It's like they've chosen to share a slice of their personal space pie with you. Now, here's the flip side. Ever had someone take a step back when you moved a tad closer? It's like an unspoken dance move, and unfortunately, it might be signaling that the connection isn't exactly a two-way street. When the retreat happens, it's a subtle way of saying, maybe let's keep our spaces separate. All in all, the distance between two people can spill the beans on their relationship status. If they're practically in close proximity, chances are there's a close bond. On the flip side, if there's an invisible force field keeping them at arm's length, it could be a sign of a more distant or formal relationship. Number 4. The guessing game. If you're dealing with a person who's a master at keeping things under wraps, here's a little trick up your sleeve: the guessing game. If you know them well, throw out some random guesses about things relevant to them and watch their expressions like hawks. The moment you stumble upon the guesses that hit the bullseye, their poker face or expression change might give you a nudge. It's like a subtle dance of expressions that gives away the exact thought dancing in their mind. But what if you're not quite the mind reader yet? Here's where the power of conversation comes in. If you've got a hunch about their unexpressed thoughts and want them to spill the beans, keep talking about it. It's like gently nudging them until the floodgates open. Sometimes all it takes is a bit of persistence to steer the conversation toward the unspoken. Number 5. Deviation in patterns. We often fall into the trap of assuming that certain actions, like talking less or looking down during a conversation, automatically mean anxiety and tension. But here's where knowing someone comes into play. If you're already familiar with a person, you'll understand whether that glance towards the floor is a sign of avoiding eye contact or just a casual moment of relaxation. According to psychology, people have different quirks and patterns of behavior, and some of these patterns are nothing more than harmless mannerisms. It's like decoding a unique language of gestures and habits. So, what's the key? Noticing someone continuously and building a baseline of someone's normal behavior. It's like creating a personal dictionary for each individual. Once you've got that baseline, you'll become a behavior detective. Any deviation from their usual patterns becomes a clue. Keep an eye out for changes in tone, pace, or body language. It's not about rushing to judgment, but rather about understanding the nuances and decoding the personalized behavioral code of the people in your orbit. Number 6. Hand gestures. Do you ever notice how people use their hands more than their words while talking? Hand gestures say a lot about how a person feels or how he really is. Here are a couple of gestures to keep in your decoding toolkit. First up, palms facing upward. It's like the universal symbol for suggesting or asking. It's the gesture that says, "What do you think about this?" It's an invitation to join in or share your thoughts. Now, flip those palms downward and you've entered the realm of ordering or demanding. It's like a non-verbal command saying, "This is how it's going to be." It's a subtle power play captured in the language of hands. But let's take it a step further. How you raise your hand matters too. Picture this. Raising your hand at its full length with a confident posture exudes power and dominance. It's like claiming your space in the room. On the flip side, if that hand rises but stops short of head level, it's a different story. It's like a silent admission of insecurity and shyness. It's the body's way of saying, "I'm here, but I'm not entirely sure about it." So, the next time you're in a conversation, keep an eye on these hand signals. They're like a secret code revealing unsaid intentions and emotions. Number 7. The eye dance. Did you know that the right side of your brain is the creative powerhouse, while the left side is all about critical thinking? It's like having a dynamic duo within your brain, each with its own special role. Now, how does this brain trivia relate to your eyes? Well, get ready for a fascinating connection. When someone looks to the right or straight up, it's as if their eyes are shouting, "Creative mode activated!" It's the zone where imagination thrives and the mind weaves stories like a master storyteller. It's the signal that a tale or a lie, perhaps spun from the threads of imagination, is about to unfold. On the other hand, when the gaze heads left and downward, it's like a sign saying, "Analytical thinking in progress." This is the realm of critical thinking and recall, where facts are summoned and thoughts are meticulously gathered. So, if you need to catch a liar, look for where they keep their eyes while talking. Is it left where stories are made, or is it right where thoughts are recalled? Number 8. The code of nonverbal expressions. In the midst of scrutinizing actions and gestures, we sometimes overlook the very essence of communication, the words spoken. And no, we're not just talking about the conversation's content, it's about the carefully chosen words that paint a vivid picture. Words are more than vessels of meaning, they're emotional architects. They can stir elation or evoke profound sorrow, shaping our experience of reality. Pay attention to the choice of words, and you'll unveil a treasure trove of insights into their thoughts, feelings, and character. Take pronouns, for instance. Someone using "we" frequently might be a team player, valuing collective effort over individual glory. On the flip side, a penchant for "I" could signify a more self-focused or independent nature. But here's the raw truth. Resist the temptation to turn this into a judgment tool. Everyone has a unique way of expressing themselves, and that diversity is a beautiful thing. So, the next time you're engrossed in a conversation, lend your ear to the words. They're like keys, unlocking the door to a person's inner world. Number 9. Stress signals. Have you ever noticed someone biting their lip or clenching their jaw? It's like a silent semaphore signaling something beneath the surface. Lip biting or jaw clenching often happens subconsciously. It's a subtle response to stress or inattention. It's like the body's way of saying, "I'm grappling with something challenging," and it's showing. This nonverbal cue might surface during a tough conversation, a moment of frustration, or when someone is battling overwhelming emotions. So, if you spot a clenched jaw or see someone biting their lip, consider it a hidden SOS from the body, calling for a moment of understanding. Instead of ignoring this silent signal, offer a listening ear or a comforting word. Sometimes acknowledging the unspoken is the key to creating a space for someone to share what's on their mind. Number 10. Navigating uncomfortable conversations. Let's face it, we all have those topics we'd rather dodge, those uncomfortable situations we prefer to avoid. The art of deflection is a skill we've all mastered. When life throws a curveball and we're not quite ready to swing, we dodge, deflect, and change the topic faster than a NASCAR driver in top gear. Yes, when discomfort strikes, defense mechanisms come into play. Humor becomes the shield for some, a quick joke to deflect and lighten the mood. Others opt for denial or deflection, swiftly changing the subject or pretending the challenging question never surfaced. So, if you catch someone rapidly shifting gears in a conversation or using humor as their escape chute, chances are they're feeling the heat of discomfort. If you've made it this far, comment down below with the word 100% to confirm that you have received the knowledge from this video. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.